welcome to another edition of the Bryan Basketball Podcast. We're going to kind of switch this up just a little bit. I know from season one, I did a lot of talking with like special guests, reaching out to a lot of my old coaches, old players, some guys that kind of that inspired me in the whole basketball atmosphere in the community. And I kind of want to, share their story a little bit. But as we go into a second year, I wanted to do a little bit more teaching. I get asked a lot of questions about certain things, and a lot of times I don't really share. I like to keep a lot of things as like a one-on-one conversation, but I think sometimes certain situations just need to be heard and heard for the masses to hear. For the most part, I take pride in teaching the game of basketball, but not just teaching the game of basketball, man, teaching life tools. I'm a kid that grew up in North St. Louis, single parent household. I didn't really let my situations kind of paint a damp picture over my goals. And I just think ultimately I'm just goal driven. So a lot of times when I speak, I'm speaking from the passion of, first of all, someone that is flawed, but also someone that has goals, very driven. And a lot of times I just want to tell my story. So hopefully a lot of the mistakes that I made, a lot of the different things that, I went through, I just like to be, that inspiration to the next group of kids growing up that say that they want to play basketball, to kind of learn from myself. So I like to say that I'm like a open book. I'm like a sponge. Use me as much as possible. So just moving forward, I think I want to do a little bit more of not just teaching the game of basketball, but just teaching some life anecdotes, and not to the point where I'm just coming off like all high and mighty and just being real preachy. But these are things that you can just add to your tool belt and just your day-to-day, like I said, every day I pretty much, I try my best to be the best husband, to be the best father, the best co-worker, best coach that I can be. And a lot of times it's hard. And I think, self-improvement is a must for people who, not just coaches, but just people in the professional world and just, my everyday street people, just trying to improve yourself, reinvent yourself, and just think in the back of your head that, God still has a plan for you and it's not the end of the world, especially if you're in the circumstances that you're in right now and it's not where you want to be. Just know that, this is not the finished product. God still is going to, continue to do work, but you also have to do work too. And that's pretty much what I kind of want to talk about tonight. I get asked a lot of questions, just like I said, about, becoming a better coach, becoming a better player, becoming a better person. And basically, it's not really hard. It's about your habits as far as the things that you choose to do. A lot of times I like to tell all of my students, all of my friends, man, everybody has 24 hours in a day. 24 hours in a day. So whatever you choose to do in that 24 hours, that's pretty much on you. You can choose to mess around, not get out of the bed until about 10 o'clock. But just know that the world has already started. Habits make us. Habits are what make us and break us. You can have good habits, you can have bad habits. And I've been a person, and I had to learn the hard way at a young age that, a lot of my habits kind of, put me in certain situations that I didn't want to be in. And I had to eventually just look myself in the mirror and just say, you know what, BT, if this is not where you want to be, then you have to do something about it. Not your mom, not your dad, not your boyfriend, not your girlfriend. And you have to do something about it. I know it seems like it's oh, BT, man, it's better said than done. But I'm telling you, it starts right now. It starts in the morning. It starts, as soon as you hear this message. Make sure that you pass this message on to somebody that you might think wanna hear this or that can benefit from it. think in the end, we all sit back and, we want to accomplish certain things, but what are you doing to accomplish those things? Again, everybody has 24 hours in a day to try to get something done. You might have to ask yourself, man, well, what time do I wake up? What time do I go to sleep? I get drilled so much when a lot of times I tell people, man, like, at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, I'm up under the covers. 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, I'm in the bed. Because I want to start my day at 4:30, 4:45. Having that time in the morning just to kind of sit and be still. Watch the sunrise. And I say that all the time. Just be grateful for that sunrise, because the moment I step out of bed and I'm able to shake my arms and move my feet around, I know it's going to be a great day. I'm blessed that God has gave me an opportunity to, give me the activity of my limbs. So soon as I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is I just, I have to give thanks that I got up, that I'm able to move around and walk around. One of the hardest things that I had to deal with a couple years ago, man, playing basketball, loving the sport of basketball. I mean, people, every time somebody see me, either they want me to play, asking me when the last time I played, but ultimately it's one of those things where I don't take the game of basketball for granted. It's something I've been doing for almost 30 some odd years of my life, and I still do it to this day. But I'm blessed to still be able to play basketball, because 2 years ago, man, I ruptured my Achilles, and for those that know me, that was a hard pill to swallow. I had never been injured in my whole life, and that means that's going back to elementary school. Never had anything serious happen. But at that time, 2 years ago, man, coming from the YMCA, and I remember it like it was yesterday. I go up for a shot, I go to chase a ball down, and it was like a sledgehammer that hit the floor. Boom! And I turn around and I look back, and I'll never forget, somebody said, nah, that ain't me, that's you. And I looked down, and I couldn't even plant. I couldn't even walk. I had to hop out of the gym, and you know how some of the youngsters that you play with, the first thing that they said is, come on, OG. Man, you can get up, you can keep playing with us, just lace your shoes up. And I'm like, lace my shoes up? Man, it's a wrap. I am done. I am finished. And that's when it started to sink in, like, man, you just did snap something and did something that, 20 years ago was like a death sentence. I think folks like Isaiah Thomas and Dominique Wilkins and all these guys that are Hall of Famers, and for you old heads that are listening, man, that type of injury just ended their career. And so I was like, man, is it over for me? But again, I'm goal driven. Within 2 days, I was getting it looked at, had to have surgery, and I made it one of my goals to get back on the court, to continue to play, to make sure that it wasn't the end. Was it pride? Maybe. But at the same time, things had to change. I had to rewire my thought process and what I needed to do to accomplish this goal. So again, I had to change my habits. One thing that I think that, anybody that's around 39, 40, 40 years old, 40 and up, you got to stretch. You got to take care of your body. When you stretch, you take care of your body, you do certain things, drinking water, it makes it easy for you to bounce back. Now, I'm not saying that, I didn't have to go through some trials and tribulations, but ultimately, it was easy for me to kind of get a grip on my diet, on my health, on the things that I can do when I had to go through rehab in order to bounce back. So again, you have to change your thought process and your approach and your outlook on life. But again, like I said, it just comes down to your habits, man. Your habits are the things that'll make you, the things that'll break you. If you're doing bad habits, then, again, you can't be upset for how your life is either going, or if it's certain things that you haven't accomplished yet. What are you doing to move towards those goals? And I think it starts ultimately with your habits. What are you doing on a regular basis? or you not making excuses for yourself. And accountability, I like to tell my players, that's that little dirty word. That's that dirty word nobody wants to hear. Accountability. And what does accountability mean? Okay? You have to be accounted for if you say you're gonna do something. Now, if you're just sitting around and you're saying that certain things are not built for you or not for you, well, that's fine. But if you say you're gonna commit to something, then you have to be held accountable. Do you have friends? Do you have people around you in your circle that can hold you accountable? And if not, then those are the things that you should be kind of looking for. Okay. Another thing I think that you need to kind of do is have a sense of what is your outlook on life. What is your paradigm of life? Like, what are the things that you view that you want to get done, and how's your outlook? Do you have a messed up outlook where you always, looking down on somebody else, hating on somebody else, mad because someone else has something that you don't have? Again, it goes back to habits. What are you doing to try to accomplish those things? We all have 24 hours in a day. I'm gonna keep saying that. Or you going to bed early. Or you going to bed late at night. Or you spending time to study. Or you spending time to try to learn certain things. To accomplish those things. I think that's something that's very serious that you have to keep in mind. What is your paradigm of life? What is your outlook on life? Again, is it positive? Is it negative? And then ask yourself, are the things that you're doing or your habits, are they hurting you or are they helping you? Or you doing certain things that are helping you, then by all means keep doing it. But if you're doing certain things that you always find yourself either getting in trouble, getting in and out of situations where you just like, man, I can't get a grip on this. Well, partner, you need to change your whole outlook and the way you think and your approach to certain things. I think that's very important. What are your outlook on others? What is your paradigm of others? Quit looking at people as, for the things that they possess, the material things that they have, the stuff that they have. Start looking at people by their principles. What do they stand on? What do they do? Or they holding themselves accountable? Or they doing the things necessary to get to that point where you can say, oh man, I need to surround myself with more people like this, because not only are they trying to do certain things to get themselves better, and then I say I want to get better, well, let me be around that group. Let me hang around these type of guys or girls. I think that's one of the hardest things for teenagers and high school students. Peer pressure is serious. Peer pressure is very serious. But again, it can be good peer pressure or it can be bad peer pressure. The person that want to get you in the bathroom and go vape with you or go drink with you or do all those type of things, and you know that you have a game, you have practice, you're supposed to be working out, but you want to do those things, then that's probably not the type of people that you need to hang around. That's that bad peer pressure. But if you got, guys that are pushing, hey, after this workout, and we're going to hit this gym up, we're going to get some shots up over here, we're going to go play against these guys from across the park, or at this other spot, that's good peer pressure. Still sharpen steel. And eventually, if you keep having that mentality and that edge, and keep surrounding yourself around people that are constantly pushing you, then I guarantee you'll be all right. It'll all start falling in place. Man, shout out to Michael Jackson, man. One of the coldest songs that I feel like he don't get a whole lot of credit for, but man, the man in the mirror. If you're able to go back and look at that video, man, you see the imagery, you see some of the things that here this man was at the height of his career, was able to make a political statement video in the age of MTV, in the age of the music video. He was the music video king for a while, and he was able to make a video like that. That if you remember, man, just being a teen, man, being so young, seeing those things, seeing the imagery in those videos, man, it hits you right in the heart. And he said, man, I'm starting with the man in the mirror. Basically holding accountability for itself, like saying, look, I want to do all this changing around the world, but I got to start with myself. And if I get maybe, one person that'll view this video or one person that listens to this audio, just understand that if you want to make a change, it start with you looking yourself in the mirror, making that commitment, winning that private victory. You don't have to say, hey, I'm going to do this and advertise it, but I guarantee you, try this. If you say you want to make a change, you want to do something different, okay? Start off getting up early in the morning, setting some goals, okay? Writing your goals down. And it can be small goals. It can be maybe 3 goals. It can be short-term goals. And you say, hey, I want to accomplish these things in maybe a week's time. And then write down 3 other goals that you want to maybe accomplish, let's say, by the end of the year. Reach out to one of your closest friends and just say, hey, man, hold me accountable for this. If I start slacking, let me know about it. Don't let me slip. See what happens. Give it a try. You don't have to advertise it. Just do it. But have somebody that's going to hold you accountable for it. And I guarantee you after maybe 3 days, 4 days, a week, people are going to start noticing. They're going to start seeing that you're serious. And that drive is just going to manifest itself in different areas. I guarantee you. We always we call it winning that private victory before you can win that public victory. I tell this to my kids all the time. Win the private victory first. You never know who's watching you. Win that private victory. What does the private victory look like? I always give examples of Kobe Bryan. What's done in the dark will come to the light. Kobe used to get up tons of shots, tons of working out, and right before the game, right after the game. Just think about it. And when you see an NBA game or a college, let's say an NBA game, you only see guys for that small window, that 2-hour window. You don't know that those guys were probably at that arena at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, working on their game for an 8 o'clock game. Then after that game is over with, somebody's going to come to them, probably tell them about the shot selection that they had. And some of the great ones are going to not leave that arena until they make those shots, hit those shots with the accuracy what they know that they're supposed to hit. But it's about winning that private victory. You don't have to advertise it. Just do it. You never know when people are watching. And for my athletes out there, I know it's hard to maybe, go through the progressions of, some of you guys are entering high school. Some of you guys are, taking on a bigger role for your college teams. Some of you guys are playing professionally and trying to navigate that whole water of, where should they be and what are teams looking for pro level players. But just keep working on your game, win that private victory. And when your number is called, stay ready and you ain't got to get ready. That's all about every day, winning that private victory. Walking out the house in the morning, winning that private victory. At the end of the day, checking off your goals that you wrote down. Man, did I win my private victory today? Then eventually it's going to start coming, and then you're going to look up, and before you know it, you're going to be ready for that public victory. So when you hit that game-winning shot, when you catch that touchdown with 2 seconds left in the game, and they run over to you with that microphone in your face, you can say, oh man, I ran that route 100 times in my head. I ran that route 100 times on the field practicing. So that one time that I caught it, I won that private victory a long time ago. For the kid that's getting up 1,000 shots a day, 1,000 free throws a day. When you hit that game-winning shot and that buzzer sound, and and that crowd run on the floor and that reporter and that cameraman come over to you, first thing you can just say is, I hit that shot so many times in my backyard. I hit that shot so many times in the gym. I hit that shot so many times at practice. I won that private victory so many times. So to me, it was just another shot. To you guys, it was me winning that public victory. But I won the private victory a long time ago. Okay? Yeah. I'm not going to hold you guys. I just had to get that off my chest because it was just one of those things that, it was just eating me up inside. And it was just like, man, BT, why don't you just get that out, get this out. But yeah, that's ultimately what it comes down to, man. Changing your habits, looking at the man in the mirror if you want to make a change, winning the private victory, pushing yourself, setting some goals. All of these things can be real beneficial for you in the end if you're trying to improve, if you're trying to make some self-improvement. So I hope I didn't go too long. I hope I didn't bore you. If you'd like for me to do more videos like this, because I got so much stuff that I want to kind of talk about and get off my chest, because I think a lot of times, man, not just coaching basketball X's and O's. Again, it comes down to just coaching some of our young men and women just on life lessons and life tools. And us as coaches, man, we hold a very, very high position in the community, in our schools, around the areas, man, holding kids, faith in our hands. And I just think we have to give them more than just trying to teach them how to shoot a ball and lay something up, or play some hard defense or do something like that. Like, we have to teach these guys guys and girls to just be more productive once that ball stops bouncing. So so again, if you like this video, make sure that when I post it, you subscribe to the channel, you like the video so more and more people can hear it. Share this video out. When I drop the audio, make sure that you're able to share that to someone that may want to hear it. I think it's be real beneficial to it. I'm gonna kind of drop some of the descriptions that I talked about in this video. So again, if you like it, just recommend it and say, BT, man, do more videos like this. So appreciate your time. Again, be blessed for every sunrise and work your hardest to appreciate every sunset. So thank you for listening.